Community Crunch 512 is here, and with it has finally come some new information on Genesis and Tides of Fortune. And unfortunately, the news that we were all dreading, a 1-week delay. Genesis Part 1 is no longer releasing on June 25th. It is now releasing on July 2nd, 2026. But they have given us so much to talk about and so much to look at. So hit the like button, subscribe if you are new here, and let me know down in the comments what you think about everything that we're going to talk about, because there is just a lot of stuff here, but there's still so much that they haven't told us yet. We're going to talk about that. So let's get into it. Now, with this community crunch, they did unfortunately announce a delay of 1 week for Genesis Part 1. It is now, like I said, no longer releasing on the 25th of June. It is coming out in July, the very beginning of July. This image has given us a lot to ponder about here, but let's go through this. We're incredibly excited to get Ark Genesis Part 1 and Ark Tides of Fortune into your hands with all of the new features and gameplay systems that they add. To ensure that the experience is where we want it to be across all the platforms, we need a few extra days to complete final certification and apply the finishing touches ahead of launch. Hopefully this means that we won't have an additional delay for console certification, because this is something that has been an issue with all the previous launches. Usually they find something and then it has to get recertified for console, and then there's a delay, right? So hopefully with this announcement, that means that they're really pushing to have it ready to go and ready to release on time on July 2nd. Knock on wood. Hopefully that's the case, and they don't find any last minute bugs, because that's usually what happens. But yeah, so as a result of this, it is delayed a week. The team has been hard at work at bringing these expansions to life, and this additional time will allow us to ensure a smoother launch for everyone. Knock on wood. And all this is that our first voyage across the vast new waters will be the best it can be, which I think is really important, because we know that the water physics are changing and we're not getting the UE 5.7 update before this happens. So obviously there's stuff going on there. We know you're eager to set sail, and we truly appreciate your patience. So hopefully the Ark official Discord is not super salty about this. Salty sea dogs. Now, this image here is what we got to talk about. This image that we got today has once again confirmed the parrot, has given us a clearer picture of it. For anybody who was thinking that we are not getting a parrot, this is the parrot. However, they have not given us a dossier. They have not given us, any creature information on the parrot. They haven't even mentioned the parrot besides showing it in the pictures. So is the parrot coming in as a creature, or is the parrot coming in as a Helena skin? I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is it going to be a new creature or a skin? I did do a poll on my channel recently, and it overwhelmingly was voted on that it is going to be an actual creature, which is very cool. So I wonder what kind of abilities it's going to have. Is it just going to be a cute little creature that you can have on your shoulder in addition to the Tide Pup? Or does it have some cool abilities? I don't really know too much about the Atlas version of it, but let me know if you know anything or have any theories about what kind of purpose the parrot could pose, because most shoulder pets do have some type of ability or purpose. Or is it going to be similar to the Fjordhawk? Which would be very weird if they give the Fjordhawk abilities. So we'll have to see what we got in store there. Other really amazing reveals. We not only got a look at more of the skins, including pirate hats on hair, which hopefully we actually get, and we're not going to go bald as soon as we put a pirate hat on, because that has been one of my long-term complaints in Ark, is that anytime you put a hat on in Ark, your hair, you magically go bald. You take it off, you magically grow your hair back. Will they finally have a fix for this to allow us to have hair with hats? Because I don't want to wear a pirate hat if I'm bald, all right? Let's be real. I want to show off my long, luxurious white locks, all right? Very, very nice looking female outfit here. I really like it. The boots look good. We have a peg leg, which is very interesting. We saw the pants previously in, I think it was the Paleo octopus image that we saw a few weeks ago. But let's talk about the ships. The ships, man. The ships look good. We have two different size ships. I guess we have, I'm not very familiar with ships, but it looks like we have a schooner style ship on the right, a smaller ship. And then we have a bigger galleon. I don't know anything about pirate ships. All right, but we got a bigger one on the left. And they look amazing. Like, let's be honest. They look really, really good from what we can see. Obviously I've not played Atlas, so I don't really know how the ship system works in that, but I am under the impression that we'll have to build the ships. I'm curious if they're going to do like just, you know, you craft it in your inventory like a raft would and then you place it down, or if you'll actually have to put a dock down and craft it. We don't see a dock in any of our images. So how are we going to be making the ships and crafting the ships? How are the ships going to work in this? Is it going to be like the Zeppelin and the skiff and then you just craft it and you place it? We don't know. But it does look like the bigger ship has a harpoon launcher on the front, which is really, really interesting. I'm curious if that will be a working harpoon launcher or if it is just decorative in you know, in style. And obviously there's different colors that you can paint the sails on your ships. Very, very cool looking. I like it a lot. It's looking really, really neat. Big fan of this. This chest image that we saw previously in the last reveal image with the Tide Pup is back. And something very interesting that I noticed when I saw this image is that it's actually, the front of it actually looks like alligator skin, which is quite cool. A lot of detail in this. Is this just going to be a skin for the box? Probably, or is it going to be some other purpose? I think it's going to be a skin for the box, which makes me very excited to see what the other skins are going to look like for this, because that skin looks really, really good. Moving over to the right side of the image, we have the aquarium, which is amazing. This is something that I think a lot of people are going to be very excited to have, an aquarium, and I don't quite know exactly what we're going to be able to put inside aquarium, but we can definitely at least put a little baby Tide Pup. Yeah, it looks like there is going to be an aquarium structure being added. I hope there's going to be different sizes that we can decorate with this, so we can put fish and stuff. We can probably use the fish basket to catch things and maybe put like salmon and coelacanth in here. We don't know, maybe baby dinos. I don't know how that'll work. Maybe chibis we can put in there. Ooh, it'll be really interesting to see how they set up the aquarium system. In the previous teaser, we also saw this light, and at the time we couldn't really see it very well what the whole structure looked like. But this is a floating structure with sharks swimming around it and a light. I'm going to be really honest. A couple people in my chat said that, oh, maybe it's like a floating buoy to make sure you don't run into land. It'll be like a decorative thing. I'm thinking that this quite possibly could be something to do with missions, because it kind of reminds me of the resource cache on Lost Colony. To me, this looks like this might be, you have to defend it against things. We do know that there's going to be some type of mission style that is coming, maybe possibly similar to Lost Colony. But this is kind of the first thing that comes to my mind when I look at it, is I think it's going to be mission related, but it could just be a structure. But the fact that the sharks are swimming around it makes me think that it is going to be mission related. What do you think? Do you think this is just decorative in nature, or is this mission related? Moving on to the last thing I want to kind of really point out here that I have noticed is the size of the Paleo octopus. Obviously, the ship on the right is much smaller, but to me, this guy looks like he is going to be at least 1.5 to 2 times the size of the Tuso, the squid. He looks big. He looks very big. We have seen the person riding its size comparison in the Paleo octopus reveal picture as well. But he looks big. He looks really stinking big compared to that ship. So we will have to see how this plays out, but he looks so cool. He looks so awesome. Very excited to see these guys. I really hope that they're going to be breedable. I'd be very sad if they're not breedable. And then obviously we have the parrot up in the top. And yeah, that's kind of what we got. This kind of our big reveals here with this image. The skins, we can see a better picture of the gun. Is that going to be a new weapon, or is that just going to be a skin for the existing pistol? Don't really know. It looks really good. The saber sword skin is looking really, really good as well. The hats look cool. We got 2 different hat styles, and it looks like maybe we're getting tattoos as well as a possibility, as you can see on the guy's arm here. Maybe we are also getting those. Now, something that I did notice that I couldn't quite tell when we first looked at this medallion thing that we saw in the previous teasers is what is even on the face of this. To me, it looks like a dinosaur head. It looks like some type of creature, maybe a pego or something. It looks like the head of a creature. I don't know if that has any value or importance, but that's just kind of what it looks like to me, just looking at this image. Yeah, I can't really see anything else. Obviously, we see the water is looking very choppy, very rough. They're doing a very, very, very good job of keeping it quiet, and keeping it hush hush, how the map is going to change and how the map is going to look. But yeah, it looks amazing. I'm super stoked. I'm just very heartbroken that we're gonna have to wait a week because I'm so excited for this map. I've been playing through Gen 1 on live streams, and it has been so much fun to go back to ASE. And I'm just so hyped to see Gen 1 and ASA, but unfortunately, we do have an extra week. So in approximately a week and a half, 2 weeks from now, we will get Gen 1. Hopefully no more further delays. But let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and hopefully I will see you on the waters of Genesis Part 1 very, very soon.